All right, so we got another mujin video here. I always love my mujin videos. But apparently we got another TwitchCon disaster. I remember I saw a lot of shit what happened with TwitchCon. How this last TwitchCon was like the worst TwitchCon ever because of all these weird ass quick kick streamers going out basically harassing people for content. Like, fucking idiots, just dudes who have never been punched in the face before, walking around harassing people. But yeah, that's what I heard was going on. But apparently, based on the title, there's some pretty weird shit happened at TwitchCon with at an after party with VTubers. Now I don't know what's going on in the VTuber community, but I swear to God, like every other Mujin videos talk about how there's some VTuber shit going on. Like I don't know what's going on in the VTuber community. I don't really watch any VTubers, but yeah, apparently some shit's going down. Apparently it's like if what the title is, like if I take this title seriously, I mean this might be some pretty bad shit that would happen at TwitchCon. Like this might be some laws broken over here. But I'm curious about what's going on. All right. Well, if I ever get the chance, no, I will never go to TwitchCon. I'm not a con person, anyways. Yeah, I get the only con I may actually really want to go to is probably like Comic-Con. But even then, because that's like the biggest one, it'll probably be the most crowded and the most stinky. So like, even then, I probably won't even go because of that. But yeah, I'm not really a con person. But yeah, I think Mujin's about to prove why I'm not a con person. But let's get it started.
TwitchCon is the biggest streamer convention held yearly. It's also ridiculously expensive, but guys, don't.
God damn, and that's US. In Canadian, because I'm Canadian. In Canadian, this would probably be like close to 200. And this would be like 260, 270 around there. Like, goddamn, bro.
Worry, it's worth it. I mean, you get to meet your role models, your idols, the people you look up to, your favorite streamers. But if you happen to go as the streamer, it's even better because you're getting to meet up with your wonderful fans and your coworkers.
My mind just zoned out right there. I didn't even clock in that he put on Dr. Disrespect. He put Dr. Disrespect with a little kid. My mind was gone for a second. I didn't even clock in for a minute.
You look up to your favorite streamers. But if you happen to go as the streamer, it's even better because you're getting to meet up with your wonderful fans and your coworkers. You also get to be directly harassed on stream by someone trying to get some clout. Yes, this popular streamer is getting his nipple kissed without his consent. That's right, TwitchCon, everybody. Make sure to come next year. Yeah.
Why is it always the weirdest looking motherfuckers?
Right, TwitchCon.
Why is his hair green?
Everybody, make sure.
I think that's a he. I'm not even trying to. I swear to God, I swear to God, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm legit making sure that's a he.
Make sure to come next year.
Okay, it's a he.
Yeah, there was a.
If that's a woman, oh my God, I'm about to get canceled.
A lot of harassment this year. It was a disaster, guys. It was so many streamers got harassed. People ran after them, trying to make their own content. It was really pathetic. But ignore all that. It's just noise. As we know, the convention itself is nothing more than an excuse to
like
nipple kissed without
like clearly
his consent. That's right. Twitch.
Clearly, this motherfucker has never been punched in the face because no one should be brave enough to go and kiss somebody's nipple. What the fuck? Why would you ever do that?
God, everybody, make sure to come next year. Yeah, there was a lot of harassment this year. It was a disaster, guys. It was so many streamers got harassed. People ran after them, trying to make their own content. It was really pathetic. But ignore all that. It's just noise. As we know, the convention itself is nothing more than an excuse to just go to San Diego with all your fellow streamers and party like there's no tomorrow. This isn't just exclusive to TwitchCon. Every convention kind of works that way. As a streamer, the real way to grow your network, meet new friends, and create new business opportunities doesn't happen in the convention itself. It happens behind closed doors in the parties or hotel rooms, but we're not here to talk about that.
I heard about this. This was fucked. I heard about that. God damn.
There are so many parties and mixers and lunches and dinners. It's ridiculous.
See, this is also another reason why I don't go to cons. I'm not a party person. I'm really not. I don't care if it's like, obviously for networking, I might like I might like, you know, just force myself to go, but I am not a party person. I'm really not. I don't see the point in going loud music, alcohol, fuck that. I'd rather, if I'm gonna drink alcohol, I'd rather do it in my room on a Discord call with my homies. I'd rather do that. I'm not a party person at all.
Ridiculous. But now imagine being a smaller streamer and getting access to a party that is highly exclusive, with top DJ performers and an RSVP list that is checked on a case-by-case basis to see whether you're famous enough to attend and you somehow get approved. You'll meet large creators, successful creators, creators that you might be a mega fan of. This is a dream come true, and I'm sure you'd be expecting the party of a lifetime. You surely wouldn't
that
be
might be crazy.
expecting
That might be a
someone
big
to
opportunity
spike
for
your
like smaller
drink with
creators.
a very powerful drug when you're not looking. To the
Goddamn.
point where you can't even move your lips.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that this was some creepy dude that did it to a female VTuber.
At some point because your entire body is limp. You also wouldn't be expecting the fire marshals to show up because somehow this exclusive party with very limited space got overcrowded.
I will tell you what, if American Pie has taught me anything, it's not a party unless cops are involved. It's not a good party unless someone calls the cops.
And finally, you also wouldn't be expecting the party organizer to find your post on Twitter complaining about this and double down while being extremely defensive and making a complete clown out of himself.
Oh my god, that's always the worst thing to do. That is always the worst thing. Doubling down. Doubling down is only good in certain situations. You have to know when to double down. But you also have to know that if you double down, you have to accept that you're going to piss people off if you double down. It is two things to it. You have to know when to double down and accept that when you double down, you're going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah. These things actually happen.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say this wasn't the right time to double down.
About it. So as I mentioned, when it comes to conventions, it's really just all about the parties happening around it. But when you go to a convention as a VTuber, it's not really as straight. One of the main reasons why they are VTubers in the first place is for anonymity. They want to keep their real identity secret. So they'll either go there virtually, meeting up their fans through a screen, or they'll go physically, but make sure to wear a mask or a cap or sunglasses or something to stay incognito, and only take off these things with people they trust, with friends who understand their situation. This is.
I will say though, this might be because I'm not part of the VTubing community. Unless you're sponsored to go to the party, what is the actual point of attending the party if you're going through like the VTuber model? Like if it's just gonna be you through a screen, and like you're not gonna be interacting with anybody there. Like what's the like? This might be because I'm not part of the VTuber community, but like I don't see what is the actual point in that? Like if you're sponsored, I can understand that, and then I know there's like situations like Iron Mouse, right? Who she can't really leave the room, her house, right? But like if you're a normal, healthy human being and you're not sponsored to go to one of these parties, what is the point of like doing the VTuber thing, especially if you don't want to go? Okay, like look, if you do want to go, let's say you do want to go, right? Yeah, like why would you go through the VTuber like the monitor, right? I feel like that would be the greatest experience. I feel like that'd be the equivalent of like watching a Taylor Swift concert through someone's Instagram stories. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be the equivalent of that. Like this is just pure ignorance. I'm not even trying to be an asshole. This is just pure ignorance.
That's why they can't just go to any party at TwitchCon, right? Because not all of them understand their precarious situation of having to stay anonymous. People could be streaming there, taking pictures, whatever. They have to go to a party that understands privacy. That's where this highly exclusive party came in, called the Afterparty Blerp X Meld. It was hosted on Thursday, September 19th from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. It was a private event. You would have to register on this website and hope that they approve you because they would look at everyone from a case-by-case basis. And yes, the amount of followers you had and the amount of viewers you would get played a big role in whether you would get accepted or not. There were exceptions, of course, just like any party, but you definitely had to be a Twitch partner minimum. Because let's see the description. It says, the TwitchCon Partner Afterparty, come hang with some of the top creators and brands in the industry. Enjoy music with Twitch's top DJ creators in the main lobby or relax on the rooftop terrace to network and meet other creators and brands. And then they add, we have zero tolerance for physical, verbal, or sexual harassment. This includes non-consensual touching, violence, discriminatory language, or any behaviors that have a negative impact on the experience or the physical safety of other guests. If a problem or concern arises, guests are encouraged to locate a staff member for assistance. While on the dance floor, we encourage guests to keep conversations to a minimum and phones in their pockets. Just keep this paragraph in mind because it'll be even funnier later, okay?
Oh.
So from the rules,
I feel like that very paragraph is gonna be used against the company when they double down. I feel like that's a prediction.
it says 21 plus must show ID at the door. No streaming inside the venue. This is a very important thing for VTubers who want to stay anonymous and not get caught in someone's stream. And plus ones are allowed but must have their own accepted RSVP as well. Which should be a good thing because it means that no one random is going to be showing up as a +1 either. Everyone is going to be vetted manually. Keep all of this in mind for later.
Okay,
so this is hosted by Blerp and Meld Studio. Meld Studio is nothing more than the sponsor Blerp was partnering with, but this is really Blerp's party. This wasn't really the first time Blerp had made a TwitchCon type party. He had made 2 last year during TwitchCon 2023 in Las Vegas, and they were big successes as far as I can tell. The first one being a masquerade event, and the second.
But I mean, that's also Las Vegas, right? Las Vegas is like the party city. Like if you want to go to a place, have like the most insane time and then forget about it the next morning, you go to Vegas, right? Like Vegas is, I feel like it's very hard to fuck up a party in fucking Vegas.
Second one being a paid VIP party. So Blerp is someone with an established reputation. This is why people had high expectations and so many high-profile VTubers went there. It unfortunately ended in complete disaster. Now, this all started when Hades, a VTuber from the Mythos agency, made
How did I not hear about this?
Saying,
I think I'm actually curious how I didn't hear about this because it feels like this is going to be a very serious situation. I don't know how I heard nothing about this. I think it was overshadowed by all like the creeps from like Kick at the TwitchCon. I feel like that's probably what happened. It got overshadowed by all like the weirdos from Kick. But like even still, like I didn't see one tweet about it, not one video. I didn't hear, I heard nothing about this. So I guess the fact that, you know, this was RSVP, I guess it worked. It was a very secret party.
I think I was drugged at the bar. She then clarified with this tweet saying, an update. I am awake now. We don't know what actually happened to me last night other than I just wasn't okay. I was in no state to go to the hospital as I don't have insurance, and so I did not receive any tests to see if I had something in my system. We only suspect my drink may have been spiked due to how sick and horrible and drunk I felt after only 2 drinks even 3 to 4 hours out from leaving the bar. I felt very wrong and overall not okay. I was in a terrible headspace and honestly should not have been tweeting, and I apologize for anyone I may have worried. Thankfully, my friends took care of me, so I am safe no matter what caused me to feel that way. So this probably happened in a bar around downtown, not too
That does sound crazy.
far from where TwitchCon was being held, and it's a very unfortunate reality. This is why you have to keep your eye on your drink at all times, and even then, it's not enough sometimes. That's why you're meant to be with friends, and that's exactly what Hades had done. She was with a bunch of different VTubers from Mythos, and they were able to get her out of there safely. And thankfully, nothing crazy had happened. But then, all of a sudden, Imuki, a different
Another
VTuber,
one.
quote tweeted that update from Hades and said this, I was also roofied last night at a VIP party. I'm safe and okay, had a wonderful group of friends to help me. Stay safe, gamers, and cover your drinks. Now, all of a sudden, this isn't just some random bar, this is a VIP party. So as many people were wondering what the hell had happened
What's
exactly,
going on here?
Imuki adds this, I've been roofied before, so I knew the signs. I couldn't move my entire body for a good 40 minutes. Thankful for the friends I have, but genuinely fuck Blerp for having drink covers and not giving them out. I'll talk about it when I get home more, but I'm just shaken up and pissed my friends had to carry my limp body back to the Airbnb when we just wanted to have a nice party. Do better, Blerp. So first off, really...
Why would they not give out drink covers if they have them? That's so, like, what the fuck? Because here's the thing. I understand that it's a very sad reality that, like, especially if you're a girl, that, like, if you go to a bar or whatever, you kind of really do have to cover your drinks because, you know, there's all kinds of freaks and weirdos out there. So I sympathize with women a lot when it comes to, like, bars and, like, you know, things of that nature. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would they not give out? Why the fuck would they not give out fucking drink covers if they have them? It's one thing if they didn't have them, but if they have them.
Unfortunate that you got roofied before and know exactly how it feels. And second off, she was directly saying that this was Blerp's fault for not handing out drink covers when they were already present at the party. Not only is this a massive accusation, but we also confirmed she was talking about the highly exclusive after party hosted by Blerp. Things were getting serious now. A couple days later, after Mookie went back home and had time to process, she finally posts her statement. Here's what it had to say. My statement about being roofied at the 2024 Friday TwitchCon Blerp VIP party trigger.
Now, before we could go into this, you have to also remember I am somebody that is innocent. I'm a very, very strong believer of innocent until proven guilty. And if you're going to accuse somebody of something, the burden of proof is on you, right? So, Mookie here, I assume she's obviously going to make a very serious accusation on Blerp, which is probably going to be proven to be true throughout the video. I'm not denying that. But once again, I do feel like if you're gonna make an accusation, especially if laws are broken, you need to prove that it actually happened. Otherwise, you're shit out of luck. Because what's gonna happen is you will have support. You will have support of like a few people with anime profile pics, but you can't. But if you make an accusation with no proof, you cannot expect the general public to be on your side when you've given them no reason to be. You know what I mean? So I'm like, once again, I'm sure like this is going to be what she says is going to be proven in the rest of the video. So I'm not saying that, oh, she's lying, but I'm just speaking like the grim reality of like situations like this. Like that's just the grim reality of situations like this.
Warning. To start with, this was mostly a VTuber party full of larger creators who were not wearing their usual facial disguises and coverings, meaning we all thought it was a safe space to vibe and meet other creators. And it was, for a little. About 2 hours into it, the party started getting a bit more crowded, and I remember thinking I didn't see this many people on the guest list we all registered for. In other words, the security to a VIP party was shit. One of my close friends noticed their water tasted funny and only took a few sips but started feeling off, which I knew was most likely a low-grade roofie. While waiting for their Uber with them, I notified the security guard, who yelled at us for taking up the walkway, shaking my head, that she was most likely roofied. Shortly after she was picked up, it hit me. Hard. Now for context, I have been roofied before, so I know how it feels, but this was something much, much more severe. Once I started feeling heavy and unable to read well, I immediately ran to the bartenders, who I befriended, to let them know I'd been roofied and to take precautions. I was informed at that point that they had drink covers and were not handing them out. My friends, thank God they were there, had to carry my limp, hyperventilating body out of the party, which was soon blocked off by the fire marshals for overcrowding. For about 2 hours after that, I could only move my mouth, mumbling, and my eyelids. My point in this is that it was a VIP party with major creators there who felt it was a safe environment to demask. They had drink covers and did nothing, and security was shit and started letting God knows who in after a few hours. They had a responsibility to take care of us and did not. My con was ruined and I spent the rest of it shaken up and scared to drink anything but water. Do better, Blerp. So this wasn't just a roofie, this was one hell of a drug. Something way stronger.
This sounds like, well, I mean, I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't even like, what do you put in a roofie? Like, I'm not even sure what the fuck. But like, this sounds like some fucking serious shit. This sounds like they put like fucking heroin in her drink. Like, what happened?
Than the usual. And I think regardless of your gender in this situation, I'm sure you can imagine how scary it is to only be able to move your eyelids and your lips barely while the rest of your body stays limp. This is horrible. A complete
That must have been
story.
terrifying. That must have been terrifying.
We're only left with more questions. How does a VIP party go so out of control so quickly? What were the fire marshals here for? Well, Blerp felt the need to reply to this post because it went viral. Here's what he had to say.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Is this where he doubles down? Oh shit. Oh, I'm not prepared for what this person's gonna fucking say. Oh God. Please entertain me, Blerp.
Hey Emily. Great start. Already misspelled.
Didn't even spell her name right. What the fuck? Bro.
Spelling her name. This is the second case we've heard of someone that got their drink spiked, and we're so upset that happened to you and so glad you're recovering okay. Unfortunately, we did not have any drink covers for the party, nor did we communicate that we will have any, but at future parties we will be sure to provide them. Please let us know if there's anything we can do to help you through this. Then Imuki replied. She said, first, it's Imuki. I'm not okay, and even without the drink covers, it was your responsibility at a VIP invite-only party with several big names to make sure the only people allowed in were on the list. Drink covers or not, this is on you. Blerp did not let this die here. No, he had to reply again, saying, sorry.
All right. This is where you just say, point taken, you're right, we'll do better. You listen. The moment you say, listen, we're about to have an apology 101 session, right? There's a difference between a defense and an apology, right? The moment you say I'm sorry, that is an admission of guilt. So if you try to defend yourself, you're not helping your case. The moment you say I'm sorry, you have admitted to guilt. You have confessed. You have said whatever you're mad at me for, you're right. That's why I'm apologizing for it. So you do not sit there and be like, well, but this, well, but that, but this, and things were out of our control, this or that. It's like, no, shut the fuck up. You apologized. So just say, I'm sorry. You're right. We'll do better. We hope you have a speedy recovery. End it like that. Don't go on a Twitter rant and defend yourself saying, oh, but we had this situation and we had that. We don't care. Nobody's gonna take your back. You're just making yourself look worse.
Mookie, it auto-corrected. Everyone that got in was manually approved by us and our sponsors. The venue capacity was 350 and we only let 325 on the roof, and at one point 15 had to wait for others to leave to get in. There were no +1s or otherwise that were allowed in without an invitation. We denied nearly 500 plus RSVPs for the event. There was security at check-in to get direct message to you. We'd be happy to discuss options to make this right to you and any other guests that were affected. Now, I don't know about you, but this response does sound pretty damn passive-aggressive to me.
Oh yeah, it's 100% passive-aggressive. Because when you sit there and say, oh, well, we had this and we had that, it's like, we don't care. If he just said, if you took all this out and just left it at, sorry, Mookie, it auto-corrected, we'd be happy to discuss options to make this right to you and any other guests. Yeah. All right, I guess just leave it at 1-2. That's it.
And is that the kind of reassuring statement you're meant to give to someone who just got roofied at one of your own parties? Oh yeah, we manually approved every guest on the list. We had security everywhere. Okay, man, that's great. Now, how did a bioweapon make it through your security so easily?
Exactly.
A drug that can knock every part of your body out for 2 hours or more. Good to know that you manually approved the person who did this coming into your party. Wonderful job. This only made him look like a clown. I mean, come on, what kind of response is that? There's also, of course, no mention of the fire marshal.
Here's the thing. It's either you don't make a statement, or if you make a statement, you don't sit there and try to defend yourself, say, oh, but this, but that, but this, but that. You just say, hey, we fucked up. We apologize to everyone that's affected. We will work with everyone who's affected to, help with, like medical or whatever situations, whatever, to help with that situation. And we'll do better. And we'll do better. End it at that. End it at that. When you sit there and try to defend your actions, we're sitting there being, you're just going to have this. We're just like, okay, you had security, but clearly your security sucks because 2 people got roofied. And the fire department showed up. So, like, clearly you didn't do a good job.
Overcrowding incident, or the fact that she wasn't the only one who got roofied. Oh, and let's not forget how he ended his statement. We direct messaged you, we'd be happy to discuss it there. So in other words, we'd love for this to quiet down and isolate you so people stop talking about this. This is terrible. I mean, at this point, you're probably wondering, who the hell is Blerp anyway? And he's just some dude who made this app called Blerp for streamers. It allows you to play sounds during a stream to interact with the streamer and use custom AI text-to-speech voices. Blerp is pretending like everything is going just fine, posting this on September 27th, asking, hey, who wants a follow? And the tweet before that being, great party, great TwitchCon, thank you all for coming. This post in particular has many replies, angry and disappointed over what had happened in the party.
Yeah,
and what's interesting is that you find Blerp contradicting himself. For example, someone replied with, cultivating a community sounds wonderful. Will those communities be protected from getting roofied at rooftop parties, or maybe actually see the drink covers that were provided and never handed out? And Blerp replies with this, saying, we've heard of only one case of streamer that may have had their drink spiked. Have you personally heard of any other?
See, this is how I know it's a person and not a company with a PR team. One thing you never do is, if you're in hot water for something, you never go and reply to all the tweets that are about. You don't sit there and be like, read through the comments and then reply to everyone being like, oh, but this, but that, but this, but that. Like, oh, well, why didn't you do this? Well, actually, we did it. Like, you don't do that. You don't fucking do that. Just make one statement That's it. And you just weather the storm, and then in the background, you try to fix what you fucked up. You don't do this shit.
This is interesting because she had posted this 2 days before he had posted that reply, calling out Blerp, saying she got roofied. So it's either Blerpy doesn't really know how to count, or there are more and more people coming out with roofie stories than he can keep track of. Now, Falside also made a video on the situation and reached out to Redclaw, another VTuber that was at the party. He confirmed some pretty concerning details. Like, for example, security wouldn't look at the bags of anyone entering the party. And this doesn't surprise me one bit.
Why would they not look at
the QR
that?
codes you were given if your RSVP was accepted could...
Why would they not go through the bags? That's so stupid. So because they didn't go through the bags, they got lucky with the roofie. Someone could have brought a fucking gun. Someone could have brought a whole fucking bomb.
be reused, so you could just send them to your friends and they could just reuse them infinitely. How the fire marshal actually did show up because the overcrowding became unbearable. And finally, how in last year's Las Vegas TwitchCon, there was a concerning group of people that would prowl around women and harass them, and now he had seen the same group at Blerp's party this year as well. Overall, this situation is a complete and utter disaster. Every measure of security during this event was clearly just there for show. But I think the worst thing here, other than the fact that Blerp doesn't really seem to care, is that we still have no idea who caused this. This was a very exclusive VIP party full of top...
And they, like, there's no police case on this? They're not looking into it? Like, you don't know who did this?
Top creators, most notably VTubers from Twitch. There was an entire RSVP list with a manual review process. Which one of these people snuck in with an extremely strong drug and got out without being caught? We don't know. And you sure as hell won't catch me drinking anything if I ever go to TwitchCon and hang out in a party. I don't know if Blerpy, whatever the hell his name is, ends up making a party in TwitchCon 2025, which will also be in San Diego. But I sure as hell hope that the security in that event...
Honestly, at this point, if you go to a party hosted by him after this, you gotta take some accountability at that point. Because if he's allowing this shit to happen at his parties that he's hosting, at that point, if you're going to another party that he's hosting, you gotta take some accountability at that point. At that point, that's kind of your fault that you went to a party that was hosted by this dude who got people roofied. Like, at that point,
event will be more than just a decorative prop. Please stay safe out there, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is.
That's insane how they don't know who did it and they never caught it. So since we don't know who did it, and it's in San Diego again for 2025, who's to stop this dude from doing it again? Who's to stop this person from doing it again if no one caught him this time? Bruh. I feel like no one should go. I feel like nobody should go, especially if it's hosted by this dude, Blerpy. I don't think anybody should go. Oh, but at the very least, that ended better than I thought it would have. Because I thought like some horrid shit was gonna happen. Which don't get me wrong. She got roofied. It's bad. It's not. I'm not saying it's not bad. It's bad. But I feel like, in my mind, I feel like it could have been a lot worse. That's what I'm trying to go. It could have been a lot worse. So it ended better than I thought it would have. Because at least they had their friends and like they just took them home. But like, fuck, man. This is why I don't go to parties. This is why I legitimately don't go to parties in this day and age, with all the freaks and like all the weirdos. Like anything can happen at a party. Like last time I went to a party, police had to get involved. It was the whole situation. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't go to parties. Fuck that. I'd rather be in my room on a call with my homies, playing some like Call of Duty or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not a party dude. But hey, you know what? This did not end as bad as I thought it would. It could have been worse. It's still a bad situation, and honestly, don't go to this guy's next party. But it could have ended a lot worse.